Welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and each weekday we'll share enthusiasm for what's possible and dive into the stories of Iowans living their dream lives right here in the heartland. Whether you're chasing a big goal or just looking for a little inspiration, we've got you covered. Let's change the world together. This is Living the Dream Iowa Life. Let's go. Heyo, welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and it is so great to be here with all of you, as always, today. Ooh, I didn't think of a question. Okay, I have the question. Do you feel rooted in your community? Rooted? Rooted? Rooted. Root. Root. Rut? A rut? My community should not be called Rooted and Rising. Rooted, root, rooted. Rooted, root, root. Rooted, it wouldn't be rooted, rooted. And I could say that clearly, but if I were saying root, root, root. Anyways, words. Okay, sorry. Root. Root. Is there a root to that tree? Where's the root? Where's the root? I'm trying to be proper and I don't know. I think I know. I think I know the proper term would be root. Root. I think that's the proper. Either way, whatever it is, however we're supposed to say that word, certainly it is fun to play around with. So, do you feel rooted in your community? Dang it. Rooted. Rooted. Do you feel rooted? Not rooted. Rooted in your community. And I say that today because we were runners. Hi. I know. I run the Living the Dream Iowa Life podcast, and I am telling you right now, 7 years ago, we were certain that our dreams could not happen here. And for about 4 of those years, we were exploring other places to live without question. Like, check the plane tickets, please. Oregon, Idaho. We talked about West Virginia, though we never ended up getting out there. West Virginia, South Dakota. Oh, I forgot about South Dakota. That one. That was a good one. South Dakota, Idaho, Oregon, mostly, and then West Virginia. It's kind of a random. We'll go east instead. I don't know. We like mountains. What can I say? So we were actively engaged in what it would look like to not do dreams here because none of our dreams were possible here. Nothing could happen here. What are we doing here? And, the year that I call Wheels Up, and that would have been 2024, 23 and 24. So I think we end, no, back further. Sorry. Okay, so it would have been 22. It would have been 23. No, because we opened in 22. So it would have been 21, would have been Wheels Up. And then in 22, the last of the trips we were going to take that year was my best friend's wedding, which was in Colorado. And then best friend's wedding in Colorado. And then we had a 10-year wedding anniversary trip to Jamaica. But that was going to be the end of Wheels Up. And we went straight. All right. This is what happened. 2021, December, Hawaii. 2022, February, my husband's best friend's birthday in California, February. I think maybe we went on one other trip that I'm not remembering in there. Then, no, that was all the same year. Either way, I'm not getting the years right because I'm not saying things correctly. But we end up going to Colorado. Even in Colorado, we were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Colorado would be so awesome. There's mountains, there's little lakes and rivers, and you can just paddleboard and do whatever you want. This is so majestic and wonderful. And there are animals, and oh, what is this life? How beautiful is this? And there are like these quaint, beautiful little main streets and all these tourist towns. What a lovely existence. And so I remember my husband was walking a couple feet in front of me, and I have this moment where I'm looking at the downtown and I'm looking at the mountains, and I'm like, someone just decided. Someone just decided that this was going to exist here. There wasn't a stamp that said, oh, this place is better than all of the other places. And so you should have a lot of shops here because people are going to want to come here. No, someone decided people should want to come here. And what would make them come here? I don't know. Shops, recreation, different things to do. I don't know. Oh. We could just add whatever local flair gets added. Let's build buildings and start adding businesses. And so as I'm taking this picture of my husband, the sun's just delicately balancing by the mountains, kind of this beautiful picturesque moment that I still have freeze-dried in my brain. It's ever expanding. And I remember just thinking, if this can exist here, it can exist anywhere. Even if we don't have mountains, we do have, really, this beautiful ability to create more here. To really live a beautifully balanced life that doesn't cost this hustle, bustle, heartache, this trade-off. Really, it could happen here. Here, more than anywhere else. And I know because we looked and we looked and we looked, and every single sign just kept pointing back to right where we were. Like, hey, we know. We know you want to run. We know. But we're not going to open those doors because maybe staying here is the most important thing that you could do. We're like, no, it's Oregon. It's just Oregon. You don't know. It's gotta be Oregon. It's South Dakota. You don't understand. Just swimming in a little creek by the mountainside is so very magical. You wouldn't even know. And you know what? I think we hadn't really given Iowa a fair chance at all, because yesterday we just swam in a little creek right beside, I don't know, not necessarily mountains, but some rolling hills with some really cool rocks. So I don't know. Is it the same? Is it not? I don't know. You know, but had we ever explored Iowa, if we were being honest? No, probably not. And had we ever given it a chance to be magical and majestic and wonderful, even though there aren't mountains? I will tell you, I don't think I will ever climb up a mountain. I'm really just good with a couple of little canyons. I like an incline, but I don't want to be struggling to breathe, you know? So I'm good. I'm good with rolling hills and some variations of rocks. I don't need big, huge mountains. You know, the last time that we went out to Oregon, I was not scared the way that I was the first time that we went out there, and I was certain that we were going to just drive off into non-existence because the cliffs of those mountains are so high and the turns are so blind. Whew. No, thank you. No. But this last time we went out there, I did not have that same fear and anxiety that I did the first time. And definitely, I have grown a lot in my own spiritual practice and my understanding and my non fear of death. I don't know if that's a good description of that, but I used to have these very eerie, like dark figures kind of just pop up and be watching me. And like, I know I'm going to die. I got it. I know you don't need to be reaping over there in the corner. You can just chill. I'm aware. Okay. I don't need the reminders. You don't need to put it right in front of me. You definitely don't need to be standing over by one of my favorite trees on this planet. You don't need to be doing that. How rude. How rude, you Grim Reaper figure. No, thank you. I know what you are. And they would appear places, and I'm like, oh, don't look. Yikes. Woof, woof, woof. And now recently I'll see it. I'll just stare it back down. Like, bro, I know. I'm working. I am doing the things. So thank you for the reminder. But I am here. I am working. I am doing what was asked of me. I know. I know there's a timeline. I know. I got to get moving. I got it. I got the message. I'm moving. Okay. But yeah, to be in that stare down moment and even in that mountain, it was just like, but why are we holding so tightly onto whether or not we continue living? You know, mostly because we got stuff to do. We got this life to live. Da, 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 da. And I do too. And I feel like I am taking every second of every chance that I get to take back all of those wonderful things in this life and keep them as close to me as I possibly can. And listen, I'm going to fill the trailer, okay? I am keeping it all close as possible. And that really was the biggest conversation and the biggest struggle that we had. I think South Dakota was probably our closest, most realistic move because we'd be able to drive back when we needed to. You know, we'd be close enough that we could get back. And the biggest holdup was our families because we both, we love our families. We love our siblings. We both have big sibling groups with a lot of nieces and nephews. We love all of them. We want to be around those people as much as we can. And we had conversations like, well, maybe this allows for a more present existence. Maybe, you know, when they come out here, we wouldn't be on phones. We'd be out exploring together. Maybe this would be what presence felt like. And maybe we'd actually have more one-on-one focused present time with them. So maybe this actually would be a really great solution. We wouldn't be losing our family. We'd be having really special present moments with them, and we would get to help them explore more of the country. And we went back and forth. Is that better? Is that worse? What do we want to do? Where are we supposed to be? Blah, 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 blah. We kept asking for the doors to open. They kept like, nope, we are not opening, ma'am. Like, lock the door on this one. It's not going to happen. Sorry. And then this Colorado trip happens. On the tail end of experiencing every state that we possibly could, traveling to a ton of different states and trying to figure out what was going to work for us, where we could actually do our dreams, what was going to give us the dream life. What was that going to be like? And all of these places were wonderful. And I will say, however, they are frying food in different parts of the country, it's way different I could only imagine going to different different countries and experiencing how they do food, because even just out on the West Coast, their food is so much lighter than our food in the Midwest. And who can blame us? Listen, this is a blubber type environment. Okay? We can't be walking around here with super thin, frail bodies. We have to survive the winter. Okay? Like, we need to be whales at some point of this year. So maybe the food just has to be heavier as a requirement. Now I do like a little bit lighter food during the summer and spring, just because we are out and about more. And I am all for the heaviness of the food, the warmth of the food, the survival of the food, and the warmth, and all those things mixed together, creating a nice, thin or thick layer of blubber that is necessary to survive the winter. I am not against that at all. So I do understand probably the origins of the heaviness of Midwest foods, the cheese, all the things. It's heavy. But we loved the food other places. We loved the experience other places. We loved the recreation of other places. We loved going out and hiking and being outdoors and seeing other people outdoors. It was so refreshing. It was so beautiful. And, other than those things, we're not going to hike on mountains and we're not going to eat, but we are going to grow up with our kids around their cousins. And we are going to grow up with our brothers and sisters. And we are going to grow up around our moms and dads. Like, what a cool thing for them to all kind of be right here is so rare. So we would be the ones to leave that. And we waited all the way out, because I don't know if you've met me, but I don't go light on things. I said I wanted to start a podcast 7 years ago, and I decided that I was going to do it 5 days a week. And guess what? 5 days a week, 7 years ago, here we still are. I have no chill. I really don't. And so I broke down every number, every statistic, every travel back to Iowa, every moment that might exist in what leaving here would look like. And at the end of the day, I still couldn't shake this feeling that I wanted to start something. And I didn't know what that was going to be, but I wanted to write, and I wanted to finish my writing, and I wanted to put it out into the world, and I wanted to go on book tours, and I wanted to start something that could change the landscape. And so I'm looking at my husband. He's walking down this little slanted hill. We're walking by all these little houses that were just art galleries and shops and shoe stores and tourist crystal shops and tourist t-shirts. And we're just walking through there, and it's all this awesome stuff. And when I snapped that picture, I thought, this could be anywhere. Someone just decided that this was going to exist here. Someone decided, hey, this place is cool. And I think people should come here. And I think we should build our life here. And I think I want to, if I'm the person that started, I really want to start. I'm really passionate about, I don't know, mountain gear. I love hiking. I love proper mountain gear. I want to outfit people to climb these mountains. That's the shop that I'm going to start. And then he's talking about, oh, I'm so passionate about this. I'm so excited about this. And then someone overhears them at dinner, and they're like, I'm really passionate about brewing coffee. Oh, I would love meeting all the tourists, making them their coffees. I would love getting to experience that. I'm really passionate about that. I'm going to do that. And then maybe her cousin is like, you know what? For me, I'm really excited about dog treats. I want to make dog treats. That sounds so super cool. I would love to sell them to people. And I'd love to do that here because I live here. And I would love to be a part of that. How cool would that be? You know? And I had helped out with a lot of different kind of entrepreneurial ecosystems, which is essentially how you build your community as an entrepreneur. Because unlike a normal work instance, you don't have community built into your contract. Like, you are mostly by yourself, and it is very lonely and can be very intimidating for that reason, especially if you're leaving normal culture, corporate culture. It's isolating, unquestionably. And so they build these little environments, and I don't know, I was a part of those, but I always felt like this isn't really community. Most of the people that are here just have kind of a script that they got to read off, and they got to talk to so many people, and this is a gathering of people, and perfect. But no one's getting anything out of this. No one's building real relationships out of this. It's pretty flat, pretty transactional, and not really helping. It's just adding one more thing, and we can't really tell what the worth is. And we're mostly just getting set up with a bunch of coffee meetings with a bunch of people who want us to buy from them, but they don't plan on buying from us. It's a very interesting type of thing. It's rough, really rough. And so I hadn't really felt that community. I'm about to publish my first book. I have this moment in Colorado, and initially the idea of what is now local was Upgift. This thought that there should be gift shops with all the gifts that give back. Like, think companies, social good companies. So like a Tom's, Tom's is probably the best, most common example. The Shop Forward is another good one that I love. I love these little give back a portion of these proceeds type of gifts, because it always felt like I love gift giving so much, and it always felt like I was giving twice. Like, oh, I got you this gift. And this gift also gives back. Da 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 da. Whoa. That is just extra impact, extra special, extra important when it comes to the gift that I have selected for you. And so initially that was the idea. It was going to be Upgift. It was going to be this social good gift shop that lived on main streets in Iowa, quaint main streets. And then I thought, well, if I have local entrepreneur goods in there, then that would be giving back to the community. And then I kind of kept testing that thought, that idea of what does economic growth feel like? What would be the best way to impact that? What would be the best spark that could exist? Because I can bring the entrepreneur meetings here. We could do them here. Is that really going to create what we need? I don't know. But I had pitched prior to Upgift, I had pitched kind of a app-based version of rural economic development, how we were going to fix things there. And I realized shortly after I pitched and got second at that pitch competition that this would never fix it either. An app is not going to fix the human connection component of what's going on in rural Iowa. An app can't do that. And we've got just plenty of government funds going into apps. So I know tech is the future, but I also believe we are about to wear out of tech, and we are in the early adopter phase of that, and we will want to come home to community as soon as we realize we can't tell what's real or fake anymore on the internet, on the apps, on anything, and we'll want real again. And so we kind of mixed Upgift and what was called Ruly. Ruly. See, we can't. And mix those two concepts together. And the birth of those two ideas became Local. And Local really came from this whole healed, expansive self that then allowed me to create in community. And it became this idea that there really is no need for all of us to separately be doing these things. Like, why would we do that? Why? And so, the idea was a shared creative space, whether that looked like commercial kitchens or, event space, a gift shop. So we don't all have to have our own individual stores until we're ready for that. And what does it look like to kind of safely grow in this realm? And so we started with the shop because that was honestly all that we could kind of afford or imagine at that point. And now we have 2 shops. And I think as we sort of shift into this new phase of growth at the 3-year mark, adding those bigger components that will really drive that economic opportunity. And we are so focused on rural communities because, right? Those are my roots. It is very important to me because I am the reality. And the reality is the successful, talented, capable people who could turn rural Iowa around are looking to leave because they don't believe that their dream life is possible here because of the roots that were planted early on. The roots that said, "Oh, you can't dream big here. Just do what's safe. Rein it in. Don't get all dream happy on us. We're just living the dream here in the most superficial, sarcastic way possible. Living the dream." And if we want to see our communities turn around, if we want to see the revival of our rural state, then it's going to take projects and investments like this. And as we continue to kind of sell off to bigger corporations, giving away a lot of land and moving that into just data factories and windmills. Stop with the windmills, folks. Okay? I understand we have all this renewable energy that none of us are actually benefiting from. I have not seen any of my bills go down. More windmills. Same bill. I don't know. Tell me it's working. More solar panel factories and fields and just a disgusting display of the dismantle of natural properties. I don't know that rolling fields, even if it's just Iowa, It's just a flyover state. If rolling fields of solar panels is what anyone has ever envisioned for a lovely, natural experience in this world, if it is, I don't know. I'd just be surprised. And I'm not against solar power, although I do not like windmills. So I will just say that. And it has nothing to do with anything about them except for I don't like the look of them. I don't like the feel of them. I don't trust them at all. I really don't. Okay? I don't. My husband worked on slip rings for windmills, and it was probably the most tragic time of our lives. Like, that would be the worst job. No one should be contributing to these things. No, no more. He has left that job. Thank goodness. But I can't continue to watch us just waste away the beauty of this state, because myself included, there are people who want to leave because we don't believe that it's here. We don't believe that the best life possible is possible in Iowa. We don't believe that we can build our dreams here. We don't believe that our kids can do the same. We don't. Everyone's got to exit. We don't believe it. And it's time. It's time to start. It's time to start living the dream Iowa life. Okay? And local was just a concept, an idea, but I think more than anything, it rooted me to this state, rooted me to my community, and gave me so much peace to just know that this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to do. What a beautiful existence. As always, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful. What are you going to do? Change the world.